Alright, we're back again on a nice Tuesday. The storm that was raging the last couple days is not raging anymore. However, it is still a nice season to do some more spooky games. Now, you can have a fight whether or not you want if a visual novel is a game or not, but technically there is some gameplay in here because I do have to get things correct and pass a semi-puzzle to get on to the next areas. And that was only the prologue I've done so far. So let's see how the rest of this goes. So we'll start up the game, and then I'll give a quick summary of what happened last time. Also, hey, Dave. So this is a spooky visual novel that I started last night. And it's all based around... It ended up being... I thought it was going to be a... like adventure Scooby-Doo type kind of thing, and it turned into a death game style visual novel. So there are multiple mysteries in this area of Japan called Honjo, and each one of these mysteries has a curse connected to them. The curse takes a special triggering ability to activate. If a certain condition is met, the curse can trigger and will kill a person. The reason why the curse bearers might want to kill a person is because if you fill up your curse item, you get to bring one person back to life. However, if you kill a normal person, you get only 1% of the amount of people you need to kill. However, if you kill another curse bearer, you get about 30% of your thing charged. So you're incentivized to kill other curse bearers. We started with the prologue with Shogo over here, who met a girl. She's the one who introduced him to the curses. Something then killed her before she even knew she had a curse, assumably. Or maybe she was even trying to kill us, who knows. And then we picked up her curse, and then we started killing people with it. Because we wanted to bring her back to life. But as soon as we got enough of the charges, we just kind of either died or who the fuck knows how this one ended. We just kind of reset. And the narrator came back and said, how about you try again? So we did the appropriate thing, where we saved her from dying to whatever curse killed her. However, we then died anyway. Or no, we did. Then we somehow died. So we got her away from being killed by someone else's curse, but we survived. So the curse so she still has a curse. And her curse is activated, which is the one that we were using to kill people in this timeline, was if somebody walks away from us and tries to leave, we can instantly kill them. Pretty damn powerful. However, we don't have that. Only she does. And we still don't know if she intended to kill us because in this path, we literally forced her to leave. We got her a cab, put her in the cab, and said, well, I'm gonna stay here, you go. So that's how her curse and trigger. So I still don't know if she intended to kill me or not. However, Shogo is now officially dead. We are now picking up the story with other 3 people that we met in this timeline, 2 of which we killed, and 1 of which we did not. So it looks like the true meat of the game is on these 3 people, and how they're going to use their curses and whatever their stories are. So we're going to start with the top here with Haruhi, since she is at the top. Not dreams. Haruhi Shigema. When the son of Haruhi Shigema was kidnapped, a botched investigation by the police resulted in the child's murder. 1 year later, Haruhi was hired a private investigator to help resolve the unsettled case. Late at night, while speaking to the detective at her home, something strange suddenly appears. May those who mock its fire perish in flame. In other words, by fire be purged! Kill them, the flame bearers, kill them all! You have acquired the power of the curse stone, the haunting clappers. You can use it to kill those with fire or a fire-starting device in their person. Use the Use Curse button to set your target to light. Alright, we already know how to play. I got that part. haunting clappers. As the evening bell rings in Irichio, near present-day Shimoku Bridge, a night watchman patrols the dark streets and announces his presence by shouting warnings about fires, all the while striking his wooden clappers. But tonight, the sound of another set of clappers answers back. He curiously claps his clappers together again. Clap, clap. Echo answers again, but no matter how hard he searches for the source of his second pair of clappers, he never finds them. Some say it was the work of mischievous Tanuki or Kitsune, while others say it was a warning from the spirit of someone who lost their life in a terrible fire. Cursed power kills by burning one who is in possession of a fire or a fire-starting device. So in other words, if somebody ended up having... What was the phone that kept burning? What was the phone's battery that used to catch fire? I forget. I think that it used to be an Android that did that, or was it an Apple phone? I don't remember. So if you have one of those phones on you, we can just kill you with this. A resentful memory. Red, red, red. Everything has dyed crimson. My home is burning to the ground. So hot, so hot. I must call for help, but I cannot speak. My throat must be burning from the smoke. No, I think I'm already on fire. That's right. I'll just use the clappers. Clack, clack. Is anybody there? Clack, clack. Why is no one coming? I'm going to burn to death. How did it come to this? Oh, right. Her. It must be the work of that vixen who appeared suddenly and enchanted my lord. That witch! Those hauntingly cold eyes and my lord dancing in the palm of her hand. Perhaps I was also taken in by her. How many innocent people did I lure to under orders? This must be karma. The sound of the heavy bell. Feels like my head was split open. Ah, right. The evening bell. That must be why nobody can hear the sound of my clappers. I've got to do it louder. Clap, clap. The Galaxy Note 7. Well, depending on when this came out, maybe that was what people had on it. That would be funny if they literally killed you with your phone. Ryogoku Bridge. The second oldest of many bridges spanning the Sumida River, behind Senji Ohashi. During the Great Fire of Meriki in 1657, which destroyed 60 to 70% of Edo, many drowned in the Sumida River attempting to swim away from the flames, resulting in the building of bridges to be a major focus in reconstruction efforts. Although this bridge was simply known as Ohashi, or Great Bridge, and was first erected to the people of Edo with the calling Ryogoku Bridge, or Two Nations Bridge, due to its location between the provinces of Musashi and Sanosha, and this eventually became its official name. Over time, the wide roads at either side, originally intended as fire breaks, became popular locations for street performers and other events. The bridge was rebuilt following the Great Kanto earthquake, and still stands to this day. Murderous impulse seeps into my soul like thick black tar. Now, kill. Can you hear it, curse bearer? You, who so strongly desires the right. Kill them. Haruhi Shigema, 12 a.m. Shigema Mansion Reception Room. Back with me, ma'am. Can't say I understand what has happened, but it certainly seems to have put you in a good mood. This might be the first time I've ever seen you really smile. Sweet dreams. Housewife, Haruhi Shigema. Haruhi is a housewife who resides in a manor near Shimoku Bridge. Her 11-year-old son, Suichi, was kidnapped and murdered about a year ago. The death was the result of a mistake on the part of the detective assigned to the case. A mistake which enraged the kidnapper and had him cut off all contact with the police, leaving no room for negotiation. The incident was covered up with Suichi's killer remains at large, leading the aggravated Haruhi to call upon the services of private investigator Richter Kai to uncover the truth. The Shigemiya family came from a line of samurai who built their residence in Honjo during the Edo period. They assumed important positions in the police force following the Meiji Revolution, thereby protecting their family's elevated status. Even today, many in the Shigeima line work as police bureaucrats and senior police officials. Haraway's father sits in the upper echelons of the National Police Agency, and her husband, adopted in the Shikamiya clan through an arranged marriage, is a highly and respected agency official. However, as her family prioritizes work above all else, it wasn't long before Haraway's marriage grew cold. Though she wants for nothing, she is isolated from her neighbors and withdrawn from society. Seeing her son grow into a young man gave Haraway a purpose in life, but it was cut short by the kidnapping incident. Following the incident, Haraway spent many days in a deep depression, breaking into sudden fits and shouting and wandering around the middle of the night. Her cheerful, loving disposition faded away, and she took to making snide remarks at her husband, which only further scoured their relationship. A few months ago, Haraway's husband was transferred to another area to work, and now rarely returns home, with Haraway left to live in a large, empty mansion alone. As a housekeeper who has been with the family for a long time comes to take care of all the housework, Haraway has nothing but time on her hands. No, not dreams. Sounds like something I might want to hear about. My heart's still racing. This is it. My chance, at long last. A private investigator I hired. A friend told me about him. They said he's not very well known, but he's good at what he does. When I first visited his office in Ota City, I saw how he dressed. I could hardly believe he was a detective. But after talking to him for a while, I changed my mind. He says some strange things at times, but he seems like a reliable sort. The eccentric man at Shogo Oki ran into at Honji Bridge. Richter is actually a private investigator with an office in Ota City, Tokyo. After taking on a request from Haraway Shigima to investigate her unsolved kidnapping and murder of her son, he gets caught up in events surrounding the rite of resurrection. Once a police officer, Richter was racked with guilt over the police's inability to help all those in need, and quit the force to start his own private investigation firm. However, his soft-hearted nature leads him to take on too many cases and has put his office in dire financial straits. How he's still in business is a mystery, with some whispering that a wealthy patron is keeping him afloat. Richter studied alongside Detective Jun Iro at the police academy. Somewhat surprisingly, given his outlandish clothing and mannerisms, Richter excels at covert investigations and tailing his targets. He proudly refers to himself as an investigator extraordinaire, though that only ever succeeds at impressing himself. Richter's biggest source of happiness is nuzzling his pet female albino parakeet, Ernestine, which he keeps in his office. He also enjoys collecting mockingbird stickers, a popular line of merchandise featuring birds inexplicably dressed like delinquents, and can be frequently sighted searching around town for them. While out and about, Richter typically leaves the office, and more importantly, Ernestine, in the care of Amamori, a junior high schooler volunteered to assist Richter after being involved in a previous case. Can't wait for all these backstories to mean fucking nothing. Richter Kai's private investigation firm in Kamada, Ota City, the Azure Heron Agency. Kai, though, thought it given a simple name like Kai's Detective Agency, but upon hearing that people are more likely to pick names listed in the front of the phone book alphabetically, he decided to pick a name starting with an A. Thus, the Azure Heron Agency was established. However, it is questionable whether the heron, a bird of somewhat ominous significance, is an effective symbol for attracting customers. Even his own assistant has referred to the name of confusing at best. After all, rather than Azure Heron, Richter keeps a white parrot as a pet and dresses not in blue, but mostly in white. If there was a symbolic connection to be made here, it was surely been lost on all but Richter himself. A private investigator, also known as a private eye, is a detective who operates their own agency. Although there are no formal qualifications necessary to become a private investigator, many are retired police agents or detectives due to the similarities between the work involved. At a glance, private investigation firms and inquiry offices might look similar, but they carry out different types of investigations. Inquiry offices specialize in conducting credit checks in businesses, while private investigators are generally involved in tailing persons of interest and gaining information surreptitiously. Superstitiously. Let me bring you up to speed. We were in the middle of a chat when you suddenly started spacing out. And the whole time you were grinning to yourself like you just won the lottery. Care to tell me what this is all about? Well, where to start? Huh, interesting. Very interesting. So the Haunted Clapper's curse echo appeared out of nowhere? Told you how to perform the rite of resurrection and gave you the curse you'll need to do it? Have I got that right? That's right. So it's all real. Honestly, I still find it hard to believe. But I guess I have to now. I saw that curse stone appear in your hand myself. It looked like it popped clean out thin air. With evidence that clear, there's no denying that there's some supernatural force at work. My heart's still racing. This is it, my chance. Okay, that didn't change. An arrangement of flowers. We bring in someone to do it. I don't even know what the flowers are called. An old hanging scroll. I don't know who painted it. It's been hanging here since before I was born. A stereo unit with separated speakers designed for home use. My husband insisted on buying one, even though he isn't here to listen to music often. A fax machine. It can send images to other places along the telephone network. I don't really know how it works. Most houses don't have one. I rarely find a use for it. A color television. Father bought one as soon as it hit the market. He likes to have the latest gadgets. Unlike the latest models, there's no remote control. We've had it for a long time. Back when it was new, we all gathered around it and marveled at it as a family. But with Father and my husband being away so often, it quickly fell into disuse. Well, I'll be damned. Oh, well, I'll be damned. Is that what I think it is? Goodness, you made me jump. It's just a silly little sticker my son got from somewhere or other. He put it up just before... Well, you know what happened. I still can't bring myself to tear it down. Let me take a close look. I know it. It's Head Honcho from way back in set number 1. This is a real collector's item. Excuse me. Don't tell me you never heard of the Mockingbirds. The what? They're the hottest new craze. Cute little birds dressed up like rough and tumble delinquents. I've never heard of them, but this certainly seems to matter to you. The best part is nobody knows who made them. They just started showing up around town, and soon enough, they won everybody's hearts. The story goes that they're made by some anonymous artist who covertly leaves them behind in specific locations. No one knows when or where they'll show up next. They're basically an urban legend of sorts. To think one would turn up here in all places is a good sign, I'm sure of it. Oh, well, that's nice. Mockingbird number 1 discovered. These popular bird mascot stickers seem to pop up everywhere. Nobody knows the legends of the artists is behind these quirky birds, but they quickly became popular for the surreal yet oddly cute designs. Be in the right place at the right time in Honjo and you might be able to find all 20 of them scattered around. Legend has it, collecting all of them will bring you good luck. I assume these are going to be collector's items I collect as I play the game. Or maybe the reason why her son had it is because the artist is the killer who kidnapped him. Dun dun dun. I don't think you quite understand. Oh. This isn't about evidence, and it isn't about belief. It's more than that. I know it's real. The moment the curse appeared, I knew everything before it even said a word. It was already there in my head, as clear as day. You just knew, huh? It was etched into my soul, along with the curse eye echoes resentful memories. So I can feel it, what it was like. Dying like they did, hundreds of years ago. Wreathed in flame, writhing in pain as my flesh blackens and my blood boils. I can feel it. Or the agony. Or the rage. It fills me with bloodlust. I think I need to kill someone. Anyone will do, just as long as they're carrying fire. I see. That could be a problem. You think so? From what I know of you, I was sure you'd see it as an opportunity. The stronger the desire to resurrect someone, the stronger the urge to kill. That's how it seems to me, anyway. Good grief, talk about a spanner in the works. I say we take stock for a moment, remind ourselves where we've come from and where we're going. That might be a good idea. My heart is racing. Okay, she has not changed her inner thoughts this entire goddamn time. Well, I already looked at everything else, so... we just continue conversation? That's what you hired me for, ma'am. To look into your son's kidnapping last year. To uncover the truth behind the abduction and murder of Suichi Shigima. Oh yes, I remember. They never did find the one who did it. That's what I'm here about today. In fact, kind of you to let me drop by so late, by the way. I've been turning over every last stone, and I've come up with a grand total of 1 lead. So you said. As far as the police are concerned, it's a cold case, but I managed to make some headway. I remember. You were just about to tell me. The Shigima kidnapping overview. A kidnapping and murder case that took place in Honjo, Sumida around 1 year ago. Haruo Shigemiya's son, Suichi, age 11, was kidnapped on his way home from school, with a ransom being demanded of the same evening. Initially, the kidnapping was thought of as a simple extortion scheme, but when it came to light that the Shigima family was closely tied to the police, and Suichi was in fact the grandson of a senior official, it was quickly assumed that the perpetrator was acting upon a grudge against the police force. The kidnapping was treated as a direct attack against the good name of the police, and a large-scale investigation was launched that used the best equipment available to trace phone calls. This made it all the more embarrassing when they were unable to catch the culprit. Losing the public's confidence, the culprit grew cocky, relentlessly mocking the police force. After 3 days of failure after failure, Haruo reached a breaking point. Spurred by concern for her son, she resolved to hand over the ransom money as fast as possible. But her husband and father, who held a prestige in the police office in high regard, refused, saying that they would not let the criminal win by giving in to their demands. The increasingly frantic detective assigned to the case lost his temper when the criminal called in to give the ultimatum, causing the culprit to never make contact again. Another week passed, and Suichi's body was found floating in the Sumida River. Suichi's death was largely ascribed to the police's incompetence, but this was ultimately covered up with stringent media embargoes. The investigation was never closed, but the case has long gone cold. Suichi Shigemiya. The only son of Haruo Shigemiya, he was kidnapped and murdered 1 year ago. His body was discovered floating in the Sumida River. Suichi was a conscientious, brave boy who was determined to protect his mother, Haruo, amidst his father's frequent absences. He dreamed of becoming a police officer and displayed diligence and an impressive sense of responsibility from a young age, likely due to being raised in an extremely strict environment. Born in the early 70s, he spent his days immersed in various activities and studies, including playing piano, learning the abacus, taking English lessons, and training in kendo. Suichi's tendency to put other people's needs over his own meant he died without ever telling his classmates how much he longed for all of them to go on a hunt for Mockingbird stickers. Nope, still hasn't changed her own inner dialogue yet. One day. You know, we still need to figure out exactly what you want me to do. Tell you what, why don't I tell you what I found and then we can make a decision? Alright. You know, we still need to figure exactly what you want me to do too. Okay. Okay, I guess you want me to choose the other ones first. I suppose there's not much point going over the kidnapping itself. No, I'm very familiar. Then I'll leave that for the files to cover and just confirm a few things about the case. The police traced the culprit's calls back to, let's see, northern Okio River here in Sumida City. It's quite a wide area. That's right. In the end, they never managed to nail down exactly where the calls were coming from. But it was almost certainly the same location that Suichi was being held captive, since Suichi's voice could be heard during the killer's calls. Northern Okio River is quite a distance from Suichi's normal school commute. Factoring in that he was seen at school but wasn't missing before he arrived at his house, it's likely that he was abducted by car on his route home. Maybe, but exactly. Suichi was a clever boy. He never would have gotten into a car with a stranger. That's right. I was very firm about that. I know he understood too. I even saw him warning the other children. It's possible that they forced him into the car. The only issue is there were many witnesses to the kidnapping. You can't bundle someone into a car with that many students around and not be noticed. But nobody came forward to say they saw anything suspicious. So, did they target him at some other time, or somewhere away from the usual route? Both of those seem a little far-fetched. Which raises the question, how did the kidnapper pull it off? The police never managed to find an answer. In the end, they decided the kidnapper must have gotten lucky. Well, why not turn the problem on its head? The kidnapper managed to convince Suichi to get into the car, but how? The only thing that makes sense to me is if they were somebody that would have a reason to trust. A teacher perhaps, a relative, or somebody else that he knew. But all the adults Suichi knew had alibis. The police checked them thoroughly. They did, huh? No one throws numbers at a problem like the cops. But what if it wasn't someone he knew? Or rather, what if the culprit disguised themselves as a police officer? Huh? That would explain why he didn't find them suspicious. The Shigemiya family has close ties with the police after all. He would have no reason not to trust them. You might be right. But surely that couldn't have... Well, it has a problem with that theory. You'd be surprised how much police officers stand out. That's sort of the point, after all. They're meant to be a visible deterrent against crime. But there's another interesting little bit of trivia I happen to know. When you ask people to imagine someone suspicious, nobody pictures women or children. Even kids who've been warned about stranger danger often subconsciously expect that danger to be like an adult man. Besides, Suichi was the sort of boy who wanted to be a police officer when he grew up. He might have had a very strong sense of right and wrong. That's right. Wait, surely you can't mean... Now you're getting it. If, say, a young woman approached Suichi asking for help, what would he have done? If someone like that said they were lost and asked him for directions, would he have gotten into a car? He might have. My husband always told him that a man had a duty to watch out for women and children. You could certainly argue that kind of attitude is outdated nowadays. But if Suichi believed it, then we might have something here. Then you think the culprit was a young woman. But it was a man's voice on the phone. She might have been an accomplice, or maybe she didn't even realize she was being used. If anything, that would explain why she hasn't come forward. She herself might not realize she had anything to do with the case. So the question is, did anybody see Suichi speaking with a young woman on the day of his disappearance? See, what I said about people's biases, that goes for witnesses too. And if I figured that maybe if I started asking new questions, I might get some new answers. So I spent my day asking around Suichi's school route, seeing if anyone had seen something. And one man thought he had. Do you mean he saw it happen? Well, I can't say that for sure yet. Turned out he wanted something from me, so he asked if we could talk in private. Several hours earlier. Alright, this should do. There's no one around, we can speak in confidence. Excuse me, what's your name again? Jonoichi. Got it. Well, Jonoichi, I'm all ears. Just so we're on the same page, you were a private detective investigating Suichi Shigemiya's kidnapping. Do I have that right? Of course. What else do I look like? Oh, should I know what a private detective looks like? Oh, forget it. Look, I'll tell you straight. My life is in danger. I need your help. Huh? You'll excuse me if I'm caught a little off guard. Let me ask you straight. Who is trying to kill you? A student called Michio Shirasashi. Interesting. A schoolgirl, eh? Sounds like you've been naughty. It's nothing like that. That girl, she's a murderer. I'm the only one who knows. But I saw what she did. Michio Shirashi. I saw her kidnap Suichi Shigema. Come again? I saw her talk to him on the street and led him away. I didn't think much of it at the time, but then he went missing. She murdered him. I'm sure of it. Or at least, she's got something to do with it. That's what you're here for, isn't it? That you can't let her get to me. If that's true, you've been sitting on some valuable information. Why didn't you tell anybody? Well, you see, if you can't explain that, I don't have any reason to believe you. I couldn't. She told me she'd kill me if I spoke a word. You're telling me a schoolgirl had you scared for your life? So you've been sitting on that this whole time? And you think she's coming for you now that you spilled the beans? Yes, that's it exactly. I'm begging you, don't let her get me. Arrest her. I'm telling you, she's a demon. Well, you seem to want to believe what you're saying, but it just doesn't add up. How could a schoolgirl have a fully grown man so terrified? You don't know what you can do. She'll curse me. Curse you? No, I'm sorry. You're losing me here. It's true. Her house, it's... Forget it. Why do I even bother? You seem dubious enough to believe me, but I should have known you'd never understand. Enough. I'll find someone else to help me. Hey! And that's about the long and short of it. I can hardly believe it. At the time, I thought this mention of curses was just crazy talk. I'm starting to see there might have been a bit more to it. Then, if we can just find that girl... Curse or no curse, she was with Suichi on the day of the kidnapping, and there's a good chance she knows something. On top of that, I did some digging on the man I spoke to. His full name is Kohei Jonichi. He's a teacher at Komagata High School here in Sumida. A teacher? Then the schoolgirl is one of his students? I think that's very likely. At last, we got a lead. Hopefully, it'll be the breakthrough we've been looking for. The Rite of Resurrection, huh? I had heard that in an occult magazine the other day. Apparently, some old book showed up recently with all the gory details. And they say that the rat can be found somewhere in Hanjo. I remember the first time you told me about that. It felt like my prayers had been heard. Like I had hope. Real hope for the first time. Ever since that awful day, I've wondered. What if I hadn't sent him to school? What if I had just paid the ransom? Not a day goes by when I don't think that if I'd done something differently, Suichi would still be alive. You can't blame yourself, ma'am. It was the culprit's fault, not yours. Though I know it won't be a help any. Grief is funny like that. I'm guessing that's why you're after the right? Huh. Guess I didn't need to ask. It's written all over your face. I can tell how much it meant to you. But, and this is a big but, if this right is the real deal, using it will mean killing someone and stealing their soul. Is that a problem? If it comes to that, I'm afraid I'll have to stop you. Oh, that's a shame. A shame, huh? That's all? I thought I'm going to be competing with other curse bearers, then your detective skills might come useful. You realize you're talking about ending someone's life, right? Don't you see an issue with that? I think any parent in my position would happily kill for a chance like this. That's so, is it? Dear oh dear, what have I got myself into? If it makes you uncomfortable, then you won't have to get any blood on your hands yourself. I don't need you to kill the other curse bearers. I only need you to find them. I won't be part of the murder, ma'am. Not even for a client. So that's a shame makes me think she's gonna try to fucking burn him. So if you have something that can start a fire on you, does that count a bullet in a gun since it has a primer that could ignite? We already know it can count a lighter. And definitely it's going to count matches. I wonder if it could count batteries. Like a battery could catch fire, therefore it counts. Anyway. I'll pay you, that's a shame. I see. I didn't realize you were so stubborn. Let me say, though, it's not like I don't get what you're going through. As long as you're not killing anyone with your own hands, maybe I can help you out. What do you have in mind? Well, how about stealing someone else's curse stone after they filled it with soul drakes? If that was all you're after, then I could lend you my services, guilt-free. If the other curse bearers want to kill each other, that's their business. I'm not trying to be a hero here. I guess there's no guarantee a stolen curse stone will work. But we can worry about that later. Well then, I suppose we have a deal. Although, what if I stole a curse stone using my curse? Would you disapprove? That would void a contract, ma'am. Just warn you now. My. Before we go any further, why don't you tell me more about the curse of yours? The haunting clappers, was it? That's one of the 7 mysteries of Anjo, if I remember correctly. That's right. The original story did happen somewhere near here. I'm sure I remember hearing that. In that case, my money would be on all the curse bearers being somewhere in Anjo. Our first move should be to narrow them down. Some of them are bound to try and come for you first. We'll need to be ready. The curses make their bearers more willing to kill, so an attack could come from anywhere. That sounds sensible. And if I remember correctly, your haunting clappers can set people on fire, but only if they have a naked flame or a lighter in their person, is that right? That's right. In olden times, wooden clappers were used to warn people of fire. I'm guessing it punishes those who didn't heed the warning. It seems like a good curse to have. It's simple and straightforward enough to use. Although it's hard to say how it stacks up without knowing what else is on the table. Yeah, the one where somebody just walks away from you and they fucking die is fucking wild. Compared to shit like this. You really think it's that good? The target can't do much to throw it off, and he has a nice long activation window. It's big that it works on lighters too. Just slip one into your target's pocket. And say the condition were already fulfilled before they even knew you were there, they wouldn't even know what hit them. Maybe. I won't have to actually use it. I could just tell someone I could, and they'd have to do what I said. Threats could work, although without any proof, it'll come down to how convincing you can be. If only you could use the curse, then back out at the last second. The last second? What an interesting idea. I have a lighter right here. We could try it now. That's an interesting proposition, but maybe not. I'm not quite crazy enough to make myself a guinea pig. Oh, I see. You're an odd one, ma'am. If you don't mind me saying, and I don't think it's just a curse. You flatterer. Nope. Her mind, literally mind empty. It's just the same thing. All she's like is, oh, well, here I go killing again. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm going to kill people soon. Even after all this conversation, she's fucking mind empty. As for what we do next, First of all, I think you should stay indoors. Try not to do anything spontaneous or outside your normal routine. Right then, have you decided what you want me working on? Help me with the right, investigate the kidnapping. Ooh, choices. Investigate the kidnapping. Finally, I have a lead. I need to know what happened to my son. Your wish is my command, ma'am. I'll focus all my efforts on looking into kidnapping. Although, something just occurred to me. You can't investigate the matter at night, can you? At least until the sun rises, you could search for the other curse bearers? Alright, I see how it is. Well, I'll be happy to help. Odds are good that the other curse bearers are also working by night. Anyone they kill under the cover of darkness won't be discovered until sunrise. I bet they'll be trying to do as much as they can before morning comes. So it's settled then. I'll look into the other curse bearers by night. And once the city wakes up, I can start asking questions. I'll investigate the kidnapping as well. I'll even try to find Miss Shirahashi as part of the bargain. Thank you. That's more than enough. Nope. Head still fucking empty. Now then. I should get to work. There's only so much time before sunrise. I'll call you if I find anything new. You stay here and keep a lookout. Alright. There's no telling what kind of curses you might find out in the streets tonight. Don't go outside if you can't help it. And try to be ready for anything. I will. Your head can't hurt if there's nothing in it. It's true. Well, that's all. I should be going. Despite having obtained the curse of the haunting clappers, Haruo Shigemiya is determined to use the rite of resurrection by stealing the remaining curse stones. She instructs her private investigator Richter to find other curse bearers. I mean, if you're gonna hire anyone, you might as well hire a Belmont. I mean, who? What? Shigemiya Mansion reception room. It's almost been an hour since Richter left. He promised he'd call me if anything happened, but he hasn't. So all I can do is wait and wait. I know it's dangerous to go out, but I can't just sit here and let this opportunity pass me by. I have to look for her, for Michio Shirahashi. But first, I need to find more soul dregs. Should I put a record on? No, it's too late for that. I'm not in the mood for music anyway. The flowers put me at ease, just a little. That odd hanging scroll. I've seen it too often. I've seen it too often to feel anything from it now. What's this? A newspaper? It must have fallen off the chair. It's a newspaper. I only leave them in here for guests. I hardly ever read them myself. I don't think I've taken the time to go over one in years, in fact. Well, it's not like I have anything better to do. It looks like the city's biggest problem right now is pollution. I remember how the air and water used to be even more polluted. The river was covered in scum from all the sewage and industrial waste, and it stank so badly it made my eyes water. Eventually, people started getting sick, and it couldn't be ignored anymore. Fortunately, it's gotten better since then. Although the air around the industrial district is still filthy with gas and smog. I'm waiting for Richter to contact me, but he hasn't. There's nothing out on at this hour. I see no point in turning it on. Okay, that's no longer a clickable object. Okay. All sorts of articles about the current state of the economy. Now that the post-war boom has passed its peak, we're moving into the era of large corporations. It's almost 230 yen to the dollar. Manufacturing is on the rise, exports are healthy. The dollar's down from its height, and people are saying it could fall further. There's no denying how much the standard of living has improved in the past few years. It's common to own a car and a television now, And supermarkets are better stocked than ever. Now that everyone has more spending money to go around, people are coming up with all kinds of new diversions. It seems like only yesterday that people were flocking to the arcades to shoot aliens. But now we have all these enormous theme parks and gaming machines that plug straight into our televisions. Everyone's talking about superhero series, foreign films, and movies based on the latest bestseller. Back in my day, fusion rock and folk music were all the rage. But now it's all city pop and idols. I find that hard. Okay, at least the city pop is the good one. The idols, who gives a shit? The city pop stuff, that's not bad. I find it hard to come to it, sort of anything more. Everyone attends high school now, even girls. Universal education policy, they call it. The country's gotten rich enough that every child can go to school. Education is the backbone of a modern society. If you want to work for a good company, you have to go to a good university. With more people in the running than ever, the competition to get into those universities has gotten fierce, though. The new generation is rebelling. Schoolyard violence and delinquency are on the rise. But my boy has to be sensible to get mixed up in any of that. I don't want to read anymore. It'll only remind me of him. Come to think of it, I never offered him any tea. Not that I ever learned how to make it. I don't really watch much television. It feels as if all the information in the world gets passed through that little black box. But Father stopped them from reporting on the kidnapping back when it happened. I was glad about that. Less fuss. Now the comedy boon is over. All the comedians are flocking to other genres. The occult seems pretty popular at the moment. Look at all these paranormal specialties. Alright, well, there's a lot of fucking newspaper bullshit already. Alright. So what did you do for this storyline? Oh, did you get the newspaper ending? The newspaper ending is my favorite. I hear the new big thing is some mascot line of delinquent birds. Mockingbirds, I think it's called. What was that Richter? That's what Richter was talking about. Trends seem to have such short lives, shelf lives now, with how quickly the times are changing. I think I'm just too old to keep up anymore. It's young people who are leading the way with their modern world views. My generation will only fall further behind. Although with everyone flocking to the city, land prices are skyrocketing. Nowadays, most people can only dream of house ownership. The city center is going to be nothing but apartments before long. I'm not exactly a businesswoman, so this all feels like another world to me. Oh, don't worry. It's all going to culminate into a small, unowned lot, and then there's going to be a huge Yakuza fight over it. So, you know what? It's honestly better to stay out. We don't talk about the empty lot. That's for himbos only. If there's one thing Hanjo never wants for, it's horrific crimes. They found a police officer dead in the local park just the other day. See? Even the bots agree. A lot of my family are in the police. I hope it wasn't anybody I knew. I don't read the news anymore. Not since last year. It brings back bad memories. Suicide at local high school. Oh, I remember that. A high school girl jumped off a roof about a week ago. She was bullied, I think. Or maybe it was something about exam pressure? Huh? What? But... No, this can't be right. Her name. Michio Shirasashi from Komata High School? It can't be. Michio Shirasashi, the same girl who witnessed my son's kidnapping, committed suicide last week. But that means... Mr. Jonoichi was terrified as someone who's already died. Is that what he meant by a curse? Best band matches that I comport, remove the space, not me, at me. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service, fellow mod. I can't work this out on my own. Maybe Richter will know. Why won't he call? Oh, I haven't left it on the hook, have I? I'm waiting for Richter to contact me, but he hasn't. I made sure the receiver's on the hook. It'll ring as soon as he calls. Ah! That must be him. Hello? Sugarmere residents. Komagata Bridge. Richter called me to meet him, and we came here to Komagata Bridge. Richter, there's something I need to tell you. Funny. I was just thinking the same thing. We're on Komagata Bridge, over the Sumida River. There's a highway on one side of the freeway on the other, but they're both deserted this late at night. Komagata Bridge. I don't want to read it. The Sumida River. The water is filthy and horrid, but at night when it's still, it looks almost peaceful. Can I ask you something, ma'am? Is the Sumida River what you Honjo folks picture when you think of home? I couldn't say. All I can tell you is that I can hardly stand the sight of it. Huh? Right. Should have guessed. This is where they found him, after he went missing. All alone, floating in that horrible water. All I can think is how scared he must have been. How cold he must have been. What did he ever do to deserve something so awful? I've come here every day since then. And I've prayed to the river to give him back. To give me back my son. Day after day after day. You know, in olden times, people believed rivers marked where our world met the next. So the act of crossing flowing water had a huge amount of spiritual significance. Back when Edo was founded, the people of Kuho found the Sumida River the same way. They associated the far side of the river with the afterlife. That same place would later become Anjo. Okay, so this actually has a parallel with the last visual novel I did, with that small river where they were dumping the bodies of people that were killed in the werewolf game. So there's at least we're definitely keeping the same cultural significances of this stuff in both of the games both of the visual novels I've done so far. All their fears and revulsion accumulated there and took root. But then the Ryogoku Bridge sprang up after the Great Fire of the Meriki, and just like that, Anjo was part of the city too. And as it turned from farmland into a town, the people surrounded it with man-made rivers and crisscrossed it with canals and waterways. Those weren't to prevent flooding. Those weren't to prevent flooding. That's what I was told. They were, but that's not all they were for. Their other purpose was to contain all the corruption that had built up on the far shore, and stop it leaking through our side of the Great Divide. Officially, they were a physical barrier. Unofficially, they were a spiritual one too. So, if I have this right, you are saying that Honjo is a place where the real world meets the afterlife. Exactly. That's why the rite of resurrection is here, rather than anywhere else. I'm sure of it. And it's probably why the 7 mysteries and their curses have survived to the modern day. And I guess that would make this spot we're standing now, right over the water, the border between life and death. If there was ever a place where bringing back the dead might be possible, I reckon it's here. It's funny that you mentioned praying to the river. It might have done more than you think. Is that supposed to make me feel better? Just thinking out loud, ma'am. Well, it's a nice thought. Yeah, I don't want to read it. Okay, just checking everything else before I click on Richter. He's gazing down at the water. What does he see down there, I wonder? You go first. Please, go ahead. Alright then. I've been poking around places connected to the 7 mysteries, looking for curse bearers. And I think I found a few candidates. First, a tall man I ran into in Kinchibori Park. I asked him for directions, trying to probe him for a little, but it turned out the question's right back around on me. And he was out there the second he figured I wasn't what he was looking for. I got the sense curses were nothing new to him. I'm about 40% sure he's a curse bearer. Wrong. We killed him in the prologue and he's not a curse bearer. Then there's a middle-aged guy I saw, the South Waragesui Street. There's no question about this one. He had one of the curse stones in his hand. He had a nervous air about him too. It was clear he was up to some shady bit. Okay, that looks like the guy that told us that he was scared of the girl. That looked like Jonichi or Jonoichi, whatever the fuck you want to call it. His name started with Jon, so we're just gonna call him fucking John until I see his name again. Gathering soul dregs, I bet, will make a good target. Up next is a pair, a young man and a woman I saw around Ryogoku Bridge. This time, the man came up to me and asked me flat out if I was a curse bearer. I told him I didn't know what he was talking about, and he backpedaled and left. Looks like they look around there often. Looking for a kindred spirit would be my guess. Though it didn't seem like they were quite working as a pair. Gathering soul dregs in a group might be a decent idea if you can make it work. But with things being how they are, it's got to be hard to find folks you can trust. They've got brass though. Don't know about what that is, but I'd like to find out. Last is 2 detectives. I've been sniffing around. The police are involved? Not necessarily. A body turned up in a local park a few days ago, so they might just be looking into that. Still, the park's got ties to one of the 7 mysteries. Maybe it was a curse that did the guy in. And if they're sending in detectives from the head office, then something's gotta be up. How do you know where they were from? Let's just say that when you're in this business, there are some faces you get to know. Anyway, that's everyone who caught my eye. We found all of them in so little time. I really did hire the best. It's all in the name, ma'am. Richter Kai P.I. No, wait. Make that Richter Kai Investigator Extraordinaire. My Investigator Extraordinaire. Is that why you can dress like that without drawing attention to yourself? You bet! An Investigator Extraordinaire can blend in like a chameleon in any outfit. Well, that aside, the middle-aged man and the young woman and the young couple sound the most promising, am I right? Whichever we pick, it's still too early to make a move. Seems like the curse bearers are less involved with each other than we thought. Plus, there's still others we don't know about. I said we hang free and see how things play out. Once more bodies started showing up, that'll get the pot nice and hot. And once it's boiling, our chance will come. Standing around is the last thing I want to be doing right now. This is my only chance to bring back my son. I can't afford to fritter it away. There's something I need to tell you. What's up? Well, that girl, Michio Shirasashi, the one who was with Suichi on the day of his kidnapping? That's her. Well, she's dead. She's what? The student who committed suicide last week. That was her. I heard something about that happening. Never got the name though. Talk about bad luck. We finally get a lead only to find it's turned into a literal dead end. Unless death was the whole reason Jonoichi was so shaken up. He said she was going to curse him. Was he talking about her taking revenge from beyond the grave? That seems like we're back where we started. Not necessarily. That teacher knows something, I'm sure of it. At the very least, I put money on him having something to do with Miss Sarasashi's death. That's why he's so scared of being cursed by her. I see. And also, something tells me he knows more about your son's kidnapping. In any case, I think I got a good idea what he's hiding. Call it a hunch. A hunch? Well, more of a theory. Care to take a guess? can guess. I can't say for certain, but... Mr. Jonichi... Silence Michio Shirasashi. With murder. What if Mr. Jonichi silenced Michio Shirasashi with murder? What do you think? I think those were supposed to be changed? Or maybe she was supposed to give that first line too? I think he silenced her with murder. What do you think? I see. Do you think Miss Sarasashi's death might not have been a suicide? That would certainly give him a good reason to think he'd be holding a grudge, but I'm not sure I buy it. That might be a little far-fetched. I see. I'm sorry if I disappointed you. I'm not really cut out to play detective. Well, no point dwelling on speculation. The dude will be out in time. Right now, I think we need to have another chat with Mr. Jonoichi. Well, he's the one that you saw with the curse in his hand, I'm pretty sure. Judging from the haircut. Didn't you want to tell me something? I've already said everything I wanted to say. Okay. Oh, that's right. There's one more memory I have of this river. Do you mind if I tell you? Go ahead. It must have been about 20 years now, when I was still a schoolgirl. Back then, the Sumedia River was much filthier than it is now. It was full of garbage and industrial discharge. It was scummy and slimy and it stank. You could look out over the water and see dead cats and dogs and pigeons just floating. And one day, among all the filth and garbage, there was a piece of my missing classmate's hand. What? It was almost a miracle when you stop to think about it. What were the chances that someone would find a part of her that was still recognizable? And that, although everything but the palm had rotted away in the water, the part that was left would have an identifiable scar, and that they would be able to tell it was a murder from the blade marks to the bone. Huh. Wait, are you talking about the Najima murder? Ah, yeah, he was everywhere. I heard. Yeah. You know what? I can see Majima doing it. Okay, no, it was Majima, but I can see Majima doing it. You know what? We're gonna name it that. You're talking about the Majima murders. So you have heard of it. I'm impressed. I assume you were but in elementary school at the time. I wasn't really aware of it then. I only learned of it after the fact. I had no idea the victim was a classmate of yours. The Majima murders, a notorious case from over 2 decades ago involving the murder of a female high school student. It first came to the attention of the authorities when part of a human hand, left hand, was discovered floating in the Sumida River. Testing revealed that it belonged to a missing female high school student. As it appeared to have been severed deliberately, the police launched a murder investigation. A large-scale search of the river was organized, but the highly polluted state of the water made it impossible. Visibility was poor, the stench was intense, and the divers quickly fell ill. They succeeded in recovering only the victim's head and what appeared to be part of her leg before the search was called off. At the time of the incident, the Sumida River was as polluted as it ever had been. Neither fish nor shellfish could survive in it, eventually causing the annual fireworks festival to be called off indefinitely. Over the course of the search, the police discovered a number of unidentified human bones. This caused a stir among the public, as several other young women had gone missing in recent years in the Tokyo area, and it was feared that they might have been fallen victim to the same fate. Forensic technologies at the time, however, were not advanced enough to determine the identities of the deceased, and so the police were unable to open any inquiries. Due to the overwhelming lack of circumstantial evidence, the investigation ground to a halt until a hitherto unrelated individual came to its attention. During a questioning about a separate incident, Fumichika Najima, a 36-year-old shop owner with no relation to the victim, divulged details about her that had never been released to the general public. An investigation into this background was conducted, leading to his arrest. Najima testified that he had snatched his victims on the street and confined her in the underground storeroom of a shop, which also served as his living quarters. He chose her for no special reason, but simply decided she was an opportune target of seeing her walking alone at night. After keeping her locked up for several days, he restrained her, sewed her mouth shut, and severed her fingers and toes with a box cutter, while she was still conscious. As she screamed silently behind her sealed lips, he proceeded to her wrists, her ankles, her elbows, her knees, working his way inward slowly and methodically. His victim consistently wavered in and out of consciousness. Her ordeal continued until she died of blood loss. Najima dismembered the rest of her body and disposed of it behind his home in the Samita River before cleaning his storeroom and returning to his everyday routine as if nothing had happened. The brutality of his actions shocked the nation when they were eventually reported. Once apprehended, Najima readily divulged his details of the murder, but was less willing to explain his motive. When asked, he would only break down in tears, saying, "I don't know what came over me. I don't know what was wrong." In the end, the police could extract nothing more from him than expressions of remorse. Although the efficiency of his method strongly suggested that he had committed similar crimes in the past, no corroborating evidence ever came to light. Najima was sentenced to life in prison. In his first hearing, the sentence was imposed with no appeal from the defendant. So that kind of sounds like one of the other mysteries of the guy who was going after the girl and she kept rejecting him to the point where he just fucking cut off her left side and threw her away. This guy kind of was just kidnapping girls and cutting them to pieces and throwing them in the river. So this might have something to do with that mystery. Also, that definitely sounds like somebody who was they even said in the story that he was serial killing even before that, because impulsively grabbing someone off a street like that is something the serial killer does in like their rampage phase when they think no one can get them and they just kind of want to be caught and they just start there'll be no consequences for me doing this. They haven't got me yet, and then they just start going on a fucking rampage and just start nabbing people like that. Yep. Persons of interest updated. How do I get this one to go down? No. There we go. Fumichika Najima. The man who made headlines over 2 decades ago was the perpetrator of the brutal killings known as the Najima murders. To be honest, it was all a bit of a blur. A wave of chaos just parting around me. Something like that. They said the rest of her body must have sunk to the bottom of the river. They combed the riverbed, but they only ever found pieces. Everything else must have rotted and flowed out to sea. Afterwards, I heard that all the divers who had been looking for her fell ill. A sorry story for everyone involved, huh? It's funny. Everyone figures the river's filthy already, so one more piece of garbage won't hurt. But every little bit makes it worse. A vicious cycle. I know I wouldn't want to go rooting around down there myself. That's right, which is why the riverbed is the last place anybody would go looking. Or so was the killer's thinking, I suppose. The times were changing quickly back then. Things were confusing. Everyone seemed to be in a hurry. Young people were moving to Tokyo in droves. Some even ran away from home to make it in the big city. And they made easy targets for bad people. A lot of them ended up disappearing without a trace. You see, back then, if you chopped the body up into tiny pieces and threw it in the river, it would rot quickly and discreetly and sink to the bottom, never to be seen again. Are you saying what I think you're saying? They arrested him shortly after, Fumichika Najima, the man who killed my classmate and cut her into pieces. He was so methodical about it, it couldn't have been his first crime, and people began to wonder about many other girls he'd murdered the same way. The police never found any evidence of other murderers in the end, but the river knows the truth. How many corpses has it swallowed up over the years, I wonder? That same thought spread throughout everyone's mind, and they started to avoid this area. So, really, this river has been rank with corruption for decades now. Or at least, that's how it seems to me. Well, was that interesting? Well, I can see why you don't have any good memories of this river. With all that darkness looking beneath the surface, there's no reason that you would. Still, if I may, ma'am, I'm surprised you know so much about the Majima murders. But how could I not? After all, I was the one who found the hand. Huh?
The police actually wrote me a thank you letter. They said it was only thanks to me that they managed to bring Najima to justice. That was the only time my father ever said he was proud of me.
Huh. I guess it just wasn't the killer's day.
Sometimes I wonder if he resents me for it.
Well, considering the whole thing, it's probably connected. Yeah, I get it. Oh, nope, more river. All right, more river facts.
The Sumida River. I have nothing but awful memories of it.
Oh, okay. That was the last trigger for that one. All right, cool. I think everything else is good to go. Let's,
Is something wrong?
Not really. It just struck me. It's been 20 years since the Najima murders.
So it has.
Not to spook you or anything, but I thought you might be interested in knowing.
Huh?
Life in prison doesn't always mean life. It's precedent for first-time offenders being allowed out on parole after 20 years. Only if they're found to show remorse and a desire to reform themselves, of course.
That's right. I'm impressed you know.
Why are you impressed he knows so much? He used to be a cop before all this. Of course he knows fucking basic legal shit.
Still, it's hard for someone with a criminal record to be reintegrated into society.
I hear they've been trying to fix that recently. Matching inmates with jobs and accommodation.
Oh, really?
They keep an eye on them, of course, and make them report in for regular checkups. But to avoid discrimination, they keep the inmates' records a secret from everyone but their employers. They even give particularly notorious criminals new identities so they won't be recognized in the workplace.
Why? The way you put it, it's like you're saying Fumichika Najima could be out on parole right now, back in society under a new name, with nobody any the wiser.
It's possible. As it happens, a little birdie told me about a big name making parole a few months back. I don't know if that was Najima, but our discussion just now did bring it to mind.
I see. How unsettling. Now that you mention it, I just remembered something too.
What was it?
I was passing Komagata High School a little while ago when I saw someone. A janitor, I think, and I could have sworn he reminded me of Fumichika Najima.
Oh?
He looked a little different after 20 years. Much thinner than I remember, too. I told myself I was just seeing things.
Isn't that... What's his name from a different timeline, though?
But perhaps it was him after all.
Alright, so that image from behind kind of just made me think of him, which he doesn't work there at all. I think that was him from behind? Maybe? Unless it's, whoever the fucker is. No, not them. Unless it's the guy he thinks is the teacher. Alright, where'd he go? Where did Joe go? Or not Joe, where did John go? Come on, let me grab this stupid bar. Alright, fine, fuck it, we're using the mouse for this then. Oh, John's not on the list yet. Right? Yeah, I'm not blind. He's not here on the list yet. Interesting. Okay.
So, what's next?
The big question now is that the rest of the curse bearers are up to. Luckily, the Sumida River is a good distance away from the Seven Mysteries. It's unlikely the other curse bearers will come all the way here. I can finally have a moment to think.
I see. All right.
Suspend? Oh, are we doing something else for now? You cannot currently progress any further. Once your situation has changed, select resume and try again. Gotcha. So in other words, I as a player need more information to continue. So I guess we're going to be doing introductions for other people then. Considering that's the only thing we can do. Alright, Tetsuo. Tetsuo! I haven't watched Akira in a long time. Tetsuo Tetsumi, Chief Inspector of the Metropolitan Police Department, 1st Investigative Division, is investigating the mysterious death of a fellow officer. He visits the scene of the incident with former Yasuda Gardens with his subordinate, Jun Iro. The guy's hair is a crime. Which one are you talking about? The killer guy, the police officer here? Or do you mean the private detective? Or you mean this guy over here on the right? This guy, I mean, true, it is kind of wide on the sides there. It's like a puffy bowl cut. Hey, boss, forensics is all done. The crime scene is clean. The other officers have all gone home. It's just us now. The park should be able to open back up tomorrow like nothing ever happened. I doubt I'll get any visitors after everything that's happened. You'll be supervised. You'll be surprised. Lots of people love that kind of thing. I bet they're lining up to get in. Occult stuff is really popular right now. Did you not know that, boss? Sounds stupid. Well, it's not exactly rooted in the science, but if ghosts really did exist, we could just ask them who the perp is. Somehow, I doubt it'd be that simple. Oh, you know, I've heard of the high school girls are really into the spirit board thing these days. Supposedly, you can call on spirits and talk to them by using a board with letters on it. Wouldn't that be something? You can try it out yourself if you're so interested. Hey, it's not a bad idea. Let's give it a go sometime, boss. What now? Stop messing around. You really think we're going to solve this case by moving a coin across a scrap of paper? Sounds like you know something about it. We gotta be open-minded. What if that's how police work is gonna be from now on? Don't make me laugh. Spirit board. Due to the occult craze, divination has become popular among young boys and girls. All one needs is a coin and a piece of paper with letters and numbers written on it. Using these, all one has to do is ask a question of the called upon spirit, as it will move the coin and answer. It is believed to be a tool that was adopted from Western spiritualism and molded by the Japanese occult enthusiasts. Hey, all I know is playing this game more just really makes me want to play World of Darkness again. Though it's considered a form of divination, the ritualistic nature of the usage. I mean, I am going to be playing it again this Halloween. It's literally a game I have to play every Halloween. It's a great game. Its usage can cause self-hypnosis or autosuggestion, leading to hallucinations or symptoms similar to spirit possession. Many schools banned these spirit boards after there were several cases of students sneaking to schools at night, in addition to stories of people having seizures when using the boards. Wait, the dude who made the game died? Did he die because... Has there been no updates because he died? Or is it unrelated? Did he I finished my game. Time to make this a fucking... last week. Oh, god damn. Oh, man, that sucks. I fucking love World of Darkness. It's a really cool game. God damn, well, rest in peace, dude. That sucks. Well, hopefully you're not haunting your game at some point. Or maybe if you died, hopefully it wasn't from sanity damage. Hopefully you at least got beaten to death by the baseball bat guy. That sucks. Listen up, Barrow. Can't go blaming the death of your buddy on something like the occult. I don't care if it was ghosts or the occult or what. Whoever did it. Whoever or whatever it was that did this. I'll get them. I promise you that. Well, you got the right attitude, but we don't even know who the murderer is. Besides, biases weaken your judgment. Get too fixated on one thing, you stop seeing everything else. Aye, boss. So, why don't we finish investigating the scene? Let's review what we know. Now? It's getting late. I figure we just head straight home from here. Come on, we gotta go over the info we gathered. And what better place to do that than here at the scene of the crime where we can soak up the atmosphere? Soak up the atmosphere? The hell's there to soak up? You must be really into the occult stuff if you get off on being in a place like this. Wait, you mean being somewhere like this doesn't get your blood pumping? No way. No, don't turn this around on me. I'm not the weird one here, craps. Ugh, fine. Let's get this over with. Aye, boss. I got a bad feeling about this case, and my gut is rarely wrong. I knew this would be a treacherous case from the moment we were dragged into it. Juniro, a detective of the Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department, 1st Detective Division, is rank as sergeant. This is his first time leading a case. It's like he's graduated from rookie to newbie. He looks good put together on the outside, but acts like a kid most of the time. Honestly, the force could use more people like him. Do the Winchester brothers? Yeah. Okay, that would be pretty cool. I call dibs on Dean. The former Yasuda Gardens here in Yokomi Ichomi were originally built as part of the daimyo's estate back in the Edo period. The park became a city properly of a number of years ago and underwent extensive renovations. There's not a soul around this time of night. Quiet doesn't even begin to describe it. Anything else? So, early in the morning yesterday, a staff member found the victim collapsed here in the park and called the police when they realized he was dead. While there were no obvious external wounds, the fact that he was a police officer and the evidence of a struggle means it's likely that this was a murder. The Sumida office went over it since involved the death of an officer, and we were tasked with the investigation. What we need to do is figure out what happened and whether this was foul play involved. I think that about sums it up. But, boss? Yeah? Is this case really important enough to assign to someone from the investigation division? I mean, a friend of mine died, so it's important to me, but it's all up to the higher-ups. I'm sure they've got their reasons. Boss, you know something, don't you? It's all become clear in time. Try not to worry about it too much. Thinking about it, the only thing we know for sure is the identity of the victim. That means there must have been something special about him, right? Maybe he knew something he wasn't supposed to. Some kind of secret or something. Isn't that right? You're pretty sharp sometimes, you know that? If you picked up on that, you should be able to put the rest together yourself. Huh? Well, it's our duty to get to the bottom of a suspicious death, especially when involving an officer. The victim is Hajime Yoshimi. Yoshimi. Hajime Yoshimi, the juvenile division of the Sumida City Community Safety Bureau. 27 years old, single. He mostly dealt with cases involving juveniles and education. His rank was senior police officer. You knew him well, didn't you? What was he like? Yes, we were in the academy together. We still went for drinks together every month or two. He could be a little rowdy, but he was like a big brother to us all. He was kind and cared about his friends. For better or worse, he wasn't an uptight cop. The man always showed empathy, and I heard he was popular with the locals for it. He treated each and every troubled kid he met with compassion. He had a great track record when it came to rehabilitation. Sounds like we lost a good one. Yes, we did. We truly did. Oh my god, he was so Chad. I knew being a cop was dangerous. I knew something like this could happen, but it's never easy when it happens for real. I know the feeling. He didn't seem to care much about climbing the ranks, but he was at the top of our class. That's what I was going to say. When he was dead at the very beginning, I'm like, oh, he's a delinquent? And then, because that's what he looked like. He looked like the stereotypical way they would draw a delinquent. And then they said he was a cop. I'm like, oh, really? It was fucking Flash Thompson from Spider-Man became a cop. The only problem is that he took on so much. He had the most unfinished paperwork too. I always felt like he needed an unusual, I always felt we need an unusual guy like him to help us solve unusual cases. Hajime Yoshimi. Hajime was a police officer of the Sumida City Community Safety Bureau and was primarily responsible. Also, Pompadour plus anyone who pulls off the Pompadour, fucking good boy in my book. All right, was primarily responsible for juvenile and education cases. He held the rank of head patrol officer and entered the force at the same age as Jun Iro. Hajime was found dead under mysterious circumstances at the former Yasuda Gardens early in the morning yesterday. Once a rebellious gang member himself, Yoshimi returned his life around and used his own experience to conduct the troubled youth as a police officer. While his appearance and demeanor suggested a man who was rough around the edges, he was a passionate, loyal, caring man at heart, looked up to his big brother by his peers. Yoshimi achieved stellar results in his work with juvenile cases, and his consistently sloppy paperwork and less than formal attitude essentially doomed his career and had him writing formal apologies on the regular. He left behind a fiancée whom he still had been dating since high school. Don't worry, you're plenty unusual yourself. Me? I was most normal of my classmates. Besides, the real weirdo among us quit the academy a long time ago. There was one even weirder than you? Yeah, probably Richter. Hajime is quite the bad boy in school. Apparently he ended up with the police a lot. He said the officer in charge was good to him, helped him get back on track. The reason he wanted to become a cop was to pay his kindness forward. Said it was the first time he ever took his studies seriously. That's a good story. Other kind of thing. Makes me want to have a drink in his honor. Please don't make fun of my dead friend. Hey, I said in his honor. You shouldn't aspire to become the kind of cop people miss when they die in the field. You say that like it's a sure thing I'll die. Besides, if I end up biting it, I'm sure you'll be the one who misses me most, boss. Come on, don't be like that. You'll hurt morale. Well, I guess how much I'll miss you depends on how this investigation goes. I can already see it. Iro, no! Why'd you have to go and get yourself killed? I have no idea what's going on in that head of yours. Yeah, I'll be a sight to see. Can't wait. You can't wait for your own death? Get it together, kid. Yeah, you really are something. Thank you. What was about the victim's family? The Yoshimi family is from Kayet Senju in the Adachi city, but Hajime's parents died a long time ago. He lived here all alone, no siblings or anything. I went to his house a few times for drinks. I was surprised. It's this huge old-looking place. Like, you know, the kind of place that seems super haunted. And he lived there alone. It looked like the home of an old noble family. It was hard to imagine him being such a delinquent living in a house like that. There's that bias I was talking about. If he's from an old family, I'm sure things are complicated. That's a bias too. I never talked about any of that, even when we were drunk, so I didn't know much about it. Huh. Oh, one more thing. Yeah? Hajime was engaged. He'd been seeing his fiancée ever since they were in school. Over 10 years. They just started talking about getting married. What was her name again? He showed me a picture once. She's a beautiful woman. That's so. How terrible for her. But she may know if there's been anything going on with him lately. We should speak to her. Yeah, his fiancée may have been his only confidant. I'm sure someone at the Sumida Police Department already contacted her. I'll look into it tomorrow. Hey boss. I looked into the case that Hajime was running. Oh great, that's the kind of stuff I want to know. What was Hajime working on the day he died? Well, according to his report from the day before, he had 2 cases involving juveniles. The first was the suicide of a high school girl who jumped off a building in Kamizawa last week. Ah, yeah, I did hear about that. The girl's name was Michio Shirasashi. She was a second-year student at Komagata High School. But it seems as though Hajime had the contact with her even before this incident. Huh. So, she'd been in trouble for some time? That's the thing. About a month ago, he happened to see her walking around town. She looked upset, so he struck up a conversation with her. He was sure there was something bothering her, but she wouldn't tell him what. Must have been trouble at home. That's what he thought, too. It seems he visited her home and spoke to her parents, but they said there was no problem, so there was nothing else he could do. And now she's dead. Huh. And it's possible he could have had prevented her suicide. He must have been devastated. And that's why he was looking into this Michio Shirasashi again? He must have thought that something terrible had happened that drove her to end her life. But ultimately, he never reported the findings of his investigation. I see. And you're thinking that it may have had something to do with his death. We'll have to find out what this Hajime discovered. Right. Let's check with Sumida Police Department about it tomorrow, too. And what was the other case he was working on? This one is also related to the Komagata High student. A troublemaker named Hitomi Okuda. She seems to be the leader of a group of kids who get up to no good. Juvenile delinquency. Fun. She was pretty bad for a while, multiple charges of destruction of property, assault, battery, you name it. Hajime had been working with her for about 6 months, and she was finally starting to open up. Then he met with the girl the day he died. Well, every school's got its problems. But I'm sure he'd be worried about how she'd get on without him. Right, just when she'd finally found out an adult she could trust. She might act out with someone. She might act out without someone to help her get through this. Well, I'll have to make sure the Sumida Community Safety Bureau does their job. But, we can't rule out the possibility that meeting with this delinquent girl had something to do with his death. Then we'll have to interview her too. Ah, yeah, you're right. She may have been the last person to see him alive after all. I'll ask Sumida to introduce us tomorrow. Though, who knows if they'll actually let us talk with her. That's what we hired you for. Lay a little boyish charm on them if they need convincing. Yeah. Sure they prefer me over a scary-looking old man like you, boss. Watch it. I'm still your superior. You ought to act like you respect me at least. Sorry, you ought to act like you respect me at least. Oh, thought I was. You were? Shit. It's just how your generation speaks. You really are a new breed. It's probably just me, actually. Ah, well, I don't think you can get away with that with other people. So anyway, boss. Were you even listening? You got quite a bit to look into tomorrow. First, the 2 Komagata High School cases that Hajime was handling. And we need to speak to the fiancé as well. I believe that's it for tomorrow. Case notes regarding the death of Hajime Yoshimi, officer with the Sumida Police. Body found at former Yoshida Gardens. Estimated time of death 2 days prior at approximately 11 a.m. Cause of death, acute heart failure, cause unknown. Signs of a struggle found at the case. Efforts to locate witnesses underway. Body discovered by groundskeeper. Currently investigating the fiancé of the deceased and 2 female students from Komagata High School that the deceased had contacted with as persons of interest. As for the cause of death, we don't know until the autopsy is done. From what we've seen, though, it appears to be some kind of acute heart failure. But since I had no record of chronic illness and had no visible wounds, it's possible that poison or drugs could have been involved. Dying in the middle of a park like that, it certainly seems suspicious. No, dying in the middle of a park like that certainly seems suspicious. We found signs of a struggle at the scene, as well as footprints belonging to an unidentified individual. We've got people trying to identify those prints. If we can find out who they belong to, we might be able to figure out this whole thing. Yes, wouldn't that be nice if that were the end of it? The only things Hajime had on him were his badge and his wallet in his pockets. So we can rule out a mugging? Thought there probably weren't many people who'd think to try on mugging a cop as big as him. Especially, no, they had, they had the CIA stroke gun. They were just blasting them down. I've also heard that Hajime got into a fair few fights in his younger days. He started judo once he became an officer and rose up the ranks quickly. I see you know your judo well. Sounds like the type of perp who would have had been pretty strong to take on Hajime. Time of death was around 11 p.m. 2 days ago, outside the park's operating hours, of course. His body was found early in the morning yesterday. 11 p.m. the day before yesterday? What was Hajime doing out here at that time in the first place? That's the question, isn't it? The entrance to the park is closed after hours, but it's a small gate that'll fairly easy for him to get through all if he really wanted. That would, of course, be breaking the entering, but what do you think, boss? Someone called him here. He came here to hide something. Someone called him here. It's hard to imagine a cop like Hajime would trespass for no reason. And since it seems like someone else was here with him, could they have called him here? Oh, that does seem likely. They must have been talking about something pretty sensitive to come here in the middle of the night. So Hajime met someone here to discuss something in secret. And then they got into a fight? No, that wouldn't match the cause of death. There were no wounds on the body that would indicate spontaneous scuffle. The perp must have planted something. Then you think it was meditated? That would mean they called Hajime to the park with the intent to kill him? Well, there is still the possibility that it was just some kind of accident. Maybe the perp tried to threaten Hajime and things went south from there. We should be able to get a cleaner picture once we know exactly what killed him. Right. But either way, I'm so glad you're back in the First Division, boss. I've always admired your work. You were like a god to me. You were the whole reason I became a detective in the first place. Ah, yeah, about that. People have been saying that ever since you first entered the academy, but... Yes, that's because it's true. I couldn't believe you got transferred out of the first just as I was assigned to it. So getting to work on a case like this just now, just the two of us, is a dream come true. Happy as I am to hear that, well, how should I put it? What is it? If that's true, I'm not sure you've been showing me the appropriate amount of respect. Huh? But I do respect you. Don't tell me you're going senile, boss. That's exactly what I'm talking about. When you run your mouth like that. It's getting late. You must be sleepy. Don't worry, boss. I'll make sure we get out of here soon. Yeah, I get it. I got a bad feeling about this case, and my gut is rarely wrong. I knew this would be a treacherous case from the moment we were dragged into it. I've been wowed by your shrewd detecting abilities all day today. Oh, really? Funny. I've been wowed by you, too. On the topic of family, what's yours like, boss? The hell's wrong with you? Prying into a personal life all of a sudden. It's just, I never heard you talk about them or anything. Oh, are you single? Shut it. It's none of your business. Well, ever since I joined the force, I've been thinking. The department really pressures young officers to get married. I wonder why that is. You don't say anything like that, though. How should I know? I caved to the pressure myself and got married 20-some years ago. Huh? So then... God, you're relentless. She took our daughter and left 4 years ago. Thanks for reminding me. Oh no, he's got divorced dad syndrome. Oh, I'm sorry. Can't believe you should give up a guy like you. Yeah, I was never home much. Too focused on work. I come home late only to get called back out again. Plus, being a cop is dangerous work. I don't blame her for getting fed up with it all. Yeah, plus 40% of all cops, you know. How sad, especially when you're out here putting your life on the line. Oh, is that why you transferred out of here first?
It's already too late by then. You better be careful, Arrow.
You say that, but there's not much I can do, is there? That's the nature of our job. There aren't many who can really understand it, not unless they're involved in police work themselves or related to someone who is. But, wait, you have a daughter, boss?
I really think I want to talk about her after that? Have some sense.
Come on, I promise I won't mean it in the way it sounds, but how old is she?
Geez, don't you know when to quit? Do you? At least try not to look so intrigued. She's a bit rough around the edges. I think most men are intimidated by her. Last I heard, she was living by herself and going to college.
Wow, a college student. I love an educated lady.
Stop that. What kind of cop are you making baseless assumptions like that?
She's living on her own, though, huh? You must worry about her. Hey, this is our old D&D character.
Worry? I don't even know where she lives.
Oh, so she hasn't told you? Probably because she knows you'd follow her around everywhere.
I would not. I don't think.
Come on now, we both know that's not true.
Listen here.
You may look like a mean old man, but you sure have a soft side.
What? That's supposed to be a compliment. I can't keep up with you.
We're done talking about this.
We're done talking about this.
Yeah, this is a Southern Grim. Although Arrow isn't this lively. Oh, that reminds me. You got married 20 years ago. It must have been right around the Jima murder.
You know your history. Yeah, it happened a year or two after our wedding.
You were the one who arrested the killer, weren't you? You studied the case at the academy. I was only in elementary school at the time, but I still remember people talking about some dangerous criminal getting arrested.
And all that was just cracking the case, finding the guy, and was all just happenstance. I'd really rather not think about it. It was a disturbing case. Did it not make your skin crawl when you learned about it in the academy?
It did. We were all terrified.
Sounds about right. No one could believe that such a mild-mannered man could have committed such a terrible murder. If we had overlooked one little thing, we may have never have caught him after all. We may have never have caught him at all.
I think I remember hearing there was only one charge brought against him in the end.
That's right. Didn't have any evidence. I knew there was no way such a meticulously planned crime could have been there first, but we may have been stuck. Fumichika Najima in a cell, but it was no victory. He always had the upper hand. All the damage he did to everyone involved, especially the victim's classmates. It's already been 20 years, huh? God damn it. This is why I try not to think about it.
I'm sorry. So, all this occult stuff, have you heard about it, boss?
What are you talking about?
This Rite of Resurrection thing that everyone's talking about.
No, not you too. I've been hearing about that shit everywhere.
Oh, you have? That's surprising.
Who cares what people are talking about? It's got nothing to do with our job.
I don't think the occult stuff with this case feels, I don't know, realer somehow? The whole thing started right here in Honjo in Samita City, so I thought that maybe...
Cut it out. Nothing good can come of getting involved with that right of whatever record of fates.
Sounds like you know all about it. Boss, are you secretly into the occult?
Stop that. Seriously, this isn't a joke. I get why you'd be intrigued by something called the Rite of Resurrection. After all, a buddy of yours died, but bringing the dead back to life, that's the stuff of fantasy, not real. So don't go hoping for miracles, got it?
I think this is the part in the timeline where... No, this is still a different park. This isn't where in the other timeline when the one guy was killing people. Well, we were killing people. That they discovered him.
Got a bad feeling about this case, and my gut is really wrong. I knew this would be a treacherous case from the moment we were dragged into it.
Okay, so what are we clicking on then? All I can hear is the rustling of leaves. That my own voice. Well, if this wasn't, this is where he would be hiding. Okay, no. So the question is, what would I click on next? Is it him? No, he seems to be done. All the talking seems to have been done. I don't have a suspend yet, so there's something I haven't clicked on that the game wants me to pick up on. Huh. What? Alright, what? Ah, the pond. Okay. This pond. They say it used to flow into the Sumida River, but the river became so polluted that they cut it off. Okay, now we good to go? Nope, not over yet. What am I missing to click on then? Unless I am supposed to just abandon this story now. But last time that had a suspend button. So I don't think that's what I'm doing. Huh. They have a separate tier set in which tier? Tier 3? Or do you mean in like 2.5 or? Oh, T2. Oh, they do. Oh shit. I gotta go check that out then after stream. But I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be clicking on next. What? Okay, so what the fuck am I supposed to be doing next then? Surroundings. Okay, seriously, what am I actually supposed to click on? What's the next story beat to progress? Ah, scene. There we go. This is where the victim was found. It's clean now. It almost feels like nothing happened here at all. But once an incident like this has come to pass, there's no going back. Not that knowing this is my consolation. Well, boss, I think that does it. Right. Let's call it for tonight. I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, God, what is that? Boss, what's wrong? Don't tell me you're going senile. Damn it. It was all that case all along. Boss, what is it? Is there something over there? Do not be fooled. It is the true lie. It is no rumor. Believe me. Be the truth. Or see the truth. Ah! Such deep sorrow, or resentful memory. Those who deceive with falsehoods and uttered be hung up forever in eternal darkness. Kill them. Kill them. Those who spread lies. Kill them all. You have acquired the power of the cursed stone of the Evergreen Beach. You can use it to kill those who intentionally try to mislead you. Press the Use Curse button when someone lies to you. Once upon a time in the north Okurabashi, a beautiful beech tree stood in the garden of Lord Shinden's residence, now known as the former Yasuda Gardens. It was so impressive that the house became known among the people as the beech residence. Somehow, no one had ever seen a single leaf fall from the tree. As rumors spread of the eternally green tree, it became known as the Evergreen Beech. However, this particular species of tree was actually an evergreen, so the lack of fallen leaves was nothing out of the ordinary. This has led people to say that the strangest part of the legend was the fact that it even became a legend at all. The Cursed Power. Kills by hanging one who tries to mislead the curse bearer with false statements. He deceived us with the so-called rite of resurrection. The man who tricked the people with his false dark art swung from a rope. They thought the man had escaped the previous night, but oddly enough, he was found hanging in the garden of the daimyo's mansion that morning. The man, a local named Jinkichi, was known for his kind temperament and skill in crafting netsuke clasps. While his life wasn't always easy, he was optimistic, the type to smile through whatever life threw him. While he was the kind of man who would take those who didn't have anyone else to rely on, the prosperity that the ukiyo-e boom brought must have been what fanned the flames of his greed. The old craftsman was found in a miserable state, as if sentenced by some cruel fate. Perhaps he ended his own life, unable to bear the weight of his crime. But dead men tell no tales, and the people thought of him as a bad man even in death. He hung there for days, till his neck stretched horrifically, with visions of pains etched on his face. It was clear he must have struggled greatly as he died, his flesh marked with dark scars with the rope wrapped around his whole body. The beech tree's leaves do not fall, and neither did the man's body hang from it. As the mansion's owner was not at home, another unfortunate event. The people held their tongues, fearing divine punishment, but the rumors persisted nonetheless. A murderous impulse seeps into my soul like black, thick tar. Now, kill. Can you hear it, curse bearer? You who so strongly desires the right. Kill them. Boss? Boss! Boss, what's the matter? Don't tell me you really went senile. Sorry. I'm fine. Arrow. Yeah? I have some bad news. No, your senility is kicking in, isn't it? No. We got a bit of trouble on our hands. Looks like we'll be working some overtime. We're not going home tonight. Huh? What are you talking about? Tsusumi and June are sorting through the facts of the scene of Officer Hajime Yoshimiya's death. Tatsumi denies the existence of the Rite of Resurrection until the cursed echo of the Evergreen Beach appears before them. Okay, so let me get this straight, boss. the right of resurrection really exists, and to use it, you have to kill people using the power of the curses from the 7 mysteries of Hanjo. And the curse you have is from the story of the Evergreen Beach that's told in this area? Is that right?
Yeah, pretty much. You're quick on the uptake.
You weren't usually silly self when you were explaining, so I knew you were telling the truth.
I'm never silly.
The only thing I have trouble believing is that you're taking this occult stuff seriously now. I mean, talk about paranormal. I thought you didn't believe in any of that.
It's not that I don't believe in it. My familiarity with it is why I tried not to get too close.
Are you just being a sore loser? Not used to admitting you were wrong?
Oh, shut up and listen to me. No point in trying to hide things anymore. We won't get anywhere if you don't understand this, so listen up. Please, just listen.
You don't have to keep saying it. I'm listening.
We don't have time to waste. We'll talk as we walk.
Hey, wait for me, boss. Oh, I just got an achievement that says don't be a quitter, play the game for 3 days. That's because technically I played it on Monday as it turned into midnight into Tuesday, and now it just hit midnight again, so now it's technically Wednesday. So I played it for 3 times in a row. Also, yes, please. More? More saxophone, more horns, let's go. It's a bop. Okay, alright, I'm gonna fucking keep listening to this. Real Goku Bridge.
One cop and his curse to kill. An action film like none you've seen before. It's a hell of a time.
Sorry, I just want to double check one more thing. You're telling the truth, right? This isn't a side effect of your senility?
The truth? It's the truth. Not like I can prove it, though. Revealing the existence of a secret department is against the rules, even for a fellow cop. But this is an emergency. I need their help. I'll tell him. He's not stupid, but he sure can be slow sometimes. Though I think that positivity of his may come in handy at some point.
Choose yourself.
Revealing the existence. Okay.
Same thing.
Coming to a theater near you, The 7 Mysteries of Hanjo. You'll be cursed with a good time. I'm sure you already know this, but this is all top secret. No sharing it with anyone.
Right, you can trust me not to. But, no, I just can't believe it. I heard rumors that you used to be a member of the secret division attached to the Security Bureau. I can't believe we actually have a department called Paranormal Affairs.
Yeah, I'm sure it comes as a shock. I couldn't believe it myself. I thought the higher-ups were messing with me. Lee Hard had me worried for a while there.
No, this is incredible. That's the whole reason I became a cop. I was always fascinated with secret agencies and stuff. Okay, so he really was killed by the CAA stroke gun. Okay.
You serious?
But thinking about it totally makes sense. If curses and spirits really do exist, then of course we need a special department to protect citizens from them.
You seem a bit too eager to believe all this.
And hang on, I thought you joined up because of me. Come on, boss, do you really have one favorite food? Can you really like more than one thing?
Yeah, whatever. In any case, the official stance is that the supernatural doesn't exist, so Paranormal Affairs operates in secret. Still not sure why they stuck me, though.
Those 4 years, I worked nothing but cases involving the supernatural. Paranormal Affairs Bureau. Although publicly called the Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department, Security Division, Special Security Unit, Paranormal Affairs Bureau, it is more commonly referred to as simply Paranormal Affairs. Only a handful of people know its existence, and within the police force. As the name suggests, it specializes in the investigation and resolution of cases involving paranormal phenomena. Since the existence of paranormal phenomena is not public knowledge, nor is it really believed by the general population, the Bureau's activities are conducted in the utmost secrecy. Currently, there are only 5 members, including the chief. The Bureau has a network of psychic contacts across the country who assist in their cases, including Mio Kurazuma. The Bureau undertakes investigations into the suspicious stories that cross their desk. Although the vast majority turn out to be hoaxes, due to the sheer number of cases, close-lipped, experienced detectives without paranormal activities of their own, such as Tetsuo Tatsumi, are sometimes assigned to investigate. The current chief of paranormal affairs is a man named Kiryo Nagagoshi. He was born to a family of psychics who have been involved in keeping the world safe from paranormal phenomena for generations. He has served as Mio Kurazuma's mentor since discovering her. Kiryu is an elusive figure who very few have met in person, and he is rarely seen in the office. It is said that this is because he has often been the target of curses. However, some theorize that this is in fact because Kiryu is not actually of flesh and blood at all. His seat in his office is usually occupied by a Nue, a legendary creature found in Japanese folklore. The Nue resembles an ordinary white thrush and acts as Kiryu's messenger, leading to bizarre scenes of police officers earnestly reporting their findings to a bird. The term Nagagoshi case serves as code names used to refer to cases under investigation by Paranormal Affairs. The gruff police detective that Shogo Oki met at Midiocho Park. Tetsuo is a veteran detective of the Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department, 1st Investigative Division. He was possessed by the Evergreen Beach curse echo while investigating the former Yasuda Gardens, previously a member of the secret Paranormal Affairs Bureau within the Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department, Security Division. He makes use of this experience to investigate the ongoing large-scale curse incident with his partner Juniro. Rather than sitting behind the desk, Chief Inspector Tatsumi always worked in the field as he moved his way up the police force. Behind his stern face lies a compassionate man ever prepared to help his fellow officers. That same attentiveness to his work and colleagues, however, cost Tetsuo his marriage several years ago. Tetsuo has a penchant for candy and desserts, which he tries but fails to conceal from other officers at the risk of appearing soft. He delights in buying local sweets wherever he is sent to investigate. The case would often volunteer to be dispatched to distant locations to acquire them while he was with the Paranormal Affairs Bureau. He is also surprisingly knowledgeable about current trends, a trait he puts down to investigation-related research, but which is actually spurred by his wish to have something to discuss with his daughter. The fresh-faced police detective that Shogo Oki met at Midiocho Park. Jun is a detective with the Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department, 1st Investigative Division with the rank of sergeant. Jun encountered a curse echo while investigating the mysterious death of his colleague, Hajime Yoshimi, in the former Yasuda Gardens with Tetsuo Tatsumi. When Tetsuo explained to him that his supernatural is real, he accepted this fact without a moment's hesitation and vowed to help his partner to solve the case. Born to a relatively well-off household, Jun developed a healthy sense of self-esteem and an optimistic outlook on life. Although watching action movies and detective series as a child instilled him with a desire to help those in need, it was the sight of Tetsuo Tatsumi, who was in charge of investigating a case Jun was involved in as a student, that truly inspired him to become a police officer. While Jun still maintains a strong respect for Tetsuo, he also gets much enjoyment out of making casual cracks to get a rise out of the veteran officer. As an adult, Jun continues to hold on to faint hope that the world is as he pictured it in his youth, a thrilling place in which superhuman heroes do battle against secret evil organizations. He attended the police academy with Richter Kai, who is now a private investigator. The two initially became friendly when Jun found Richter holed up alone in the reference room scouring the old crime data, and invited him to go bowling, a popular pastime during his era. So, do you know, have it? Have what? Spirit sense, of course. Are you what they call spiritually gifted? Nope. I've never felt anything at all. Even if I did, I'd be a lightweight at best. One beer and I'm down for the... Oh, God, not you, too. Okay, so that's his daughter. Alright, that does it. That does it. That's his daughter. Different last name, but that's his fucking daughter. There's no way that's not. There's no fucking way that's not his daughter. Alright. Oh, is that how people in the field quantify someone's spirit sense? Like, how much liquor they can handle? Nope, that's just me. Thought I'd help get the point across. Oh, huh. Sorry, seems like I kept disappointing you. No, it's not your fault, boss. On the risk of disappointing you yet again, I'll tell you one more thing. Spirit sense is usually something you're born with. It's tough to develop it later on. What? So there's no hope for me? I'll say it isn't so. Of course you were interested. Well, you never know. You may have some hidden potential. I know there's a high schooler who's got so much spirit sense that she works on the front lines. I say work, but she wasn't paid because it was supposedly part of her training. Yikes. It seems like it to be a violation of Article 69 of the Labor Standards Act. Well, you really know the law. No comment. Even the occult field has workers' rights issues, huh? Yeah, we all know the children yearn for the supernatural minds. So, what do we do now? We got this Friday Resurrection and the curse echoes of the 7 mysteries of Hanjo. The curse being spread out around the city is a bit of an emergency. Is that bad? I'll put it this way. It's like handing out guns all over town. Jeez, that's real bad. It is. So we need to find the source and put a stop to it before something terrible happens. Usually that'd be a job for paranormal affairs, but I talked to them on our way here. The main team is tied up until tomorrow night. So they told me to deal with it myself. Said I'll be fine since I have some experience. What? Then that overtime you mentioned means... Yup, you're gonna help me, partner. Alright, let's do this! You seem a bit too eager to dive into all this. Really have no reservations working a case you know nothing about? You said this was an emergency. I didn't think I had a choice. I'm just trying to be illogical about this, boss. You really are something. It might actually be nice having you around. What do you think? Why, thank you. Revealing the existence of... Okay, yeah. Yeah, well, right now it's kind of like... They mentioned that it's kind of like a comedy duo. Like, this guy's the straight man, and he's the... fuck. What's the term for it? The clown? I don't think that's the term for it. But yeah, they're going for like a comedy duo thing here. Where he acts dumb, but he knows more, you know, he's doing it on purpose. But he's the one that has to bounce everything off of. So, what exactly do we do? If these curses are connected to the 7 mysteries, then the people who have the others should all be here in town. Right. If there's 7 of them, that means there are 6 more out there? And we have to stop them all before they kill everyone without the curses. However, we know from the prologue that there's actually more than 7. If we can, we should find and collect all the curse stones. But, boss, from what you said earlier, killing a curse bearer gets you closer to completing the rite of resurrection. Won't your life be in danger if they find out you're a curse bearer? Pretty much. We can't let that happen. Should you even be out here right now? Hiding would only be a waste of time. The mystery of the one-sided reed is associated with Ryogoku Bridge. I was hoping we'd be quick enough to run into the one-sided reed's curse bearer. No such luck, it seems. Well, nothing else. Maybe word will spread that the cops are on the lookout and people will behave. That's putting a lot of trust in whoever these people are. But
It's possible that other curse bearers with the same idea will come here. Talk to anyone you see who seems suspicious. That means someone who may have the power of a curse? Understood. In that case, why don't I talk to that guy who's been watching us the whole time? Alright. What do you know? There's someone there. Good luck. Hey, you there. Sorry to bother you, but I've got some questions. I'm with the police. Alright, so I'm just going to do this. I already know how his thing works. So we're going to go to options. We're going to go to audio. And just in case he tries to kill us, we're going to turn the voice's volume off. Thanks for your cooperation. We'll be asking you a few things, Mr. Yutaro Namagaki? That's your name, correct? Yeah, that'll bite answering your questions. You're a detective? Did something happen? Oh, right. Lots of things have been happening around here. Like people dying. So, what to make of this guy? If this were a normal case, I'd be fine letting him take the reins. But curses are involved here, so I should take over. Alright, so currently, every time we've seen him or heard about him, this guy has always been straight up and forward and says, I have a curse. Do you want to join me? So, this guy's going to be incredibly resistant to our curse because this curse activates when the person's lying to you. The man identifies himself as Yutaro Namagaki, a 21-year-old college student. He was watching us so calmly. We need to be careful with this guy. Also, doesn't he have the backup lady? She's not hanging around right now. So, what is it you were doing here? It must be the incident of the Forbo Yasuda Gardens. The dead policeman? I can't imagine a detective would come all the way out here otherwise. Huh? Say, Mr. Detective, have you ever heard of the Evergreen Beach? Seven Mysteries of Hanjo, right? Why do you ask? Well, I was just looking into it. Actually, I was wondering if either of you knew anything about it. If it's the Evergreen Beach you're after, you'd be the one better off looking around the former Yasuda Gardens than here. Oh, so you know a lot about this? But that's what I thought. Detectives, you have the curse stone of the Evergreen Beach, don't you? How did you know? Arrow, you idiot. Well, that was much easier than I expected. Oh, crap, sorry. It was simple inference. I figured you'd have taken the curse if you were just at the gardens. If you know that, then, you must be a curse bearer yourself. Well, I have no intention of hiding anything. I plan to tell you from the start. Look, this is my curse stone. I believe it's called the Foot Washing Mansion. That's right. But are you sure about this? Well, I'm not so rash that I kill someone as soon as I found out they were curse bearer. Not without talking to them first. You're the same, aren't you, detectives? You wouldn't use a curse on a normal person. Let's speak as... Okay. The fact that my curse triggered here means that he is now lying to me. And he is trying to mislead me. Otherwise, that wouldn't have popped up. Let's speak as equals, shall we? Boss? Sure. We'd rather resolve this amicably, too. Though you're a curse bearer, so please be careful. Fortunately, I don't think he knows which one of us is the curse bearer yet. If we play things right, we should be okay. Except for the fact that you just technically said that out loud and said that I am the curse bearer. Dumbass. So hopefully that wasn't technically out loud. He really is a curse bearer. He may only be talking to us to try and activate his curse. I have to be aware of anything he asks me to do. I could tackle him and pin him to the ground, but that might have something to do with his curse. And a slip of the tongue can get us killed. I have to try to discern what activates this curse. So, what do I do? But before we talk, there's something I should tell you. Huh? This is my curse stone, the Evergreen Beach, just like you thought. What? Whoa, boss, why'd you tell him? That's for how the curse works. Boss, are you having another senior moment? Or are you telling him this? It happens to death anyone who would try to mislead me. So, if you try to lie to me, the curse stone will let me know. I don't have to use it to tell, understand? Whoa, really? That's super useful. Well, I see. Understood. That's pretty useful power for a detective. Now then, let's talk. Damn, seems like I lost the upper hand. No point in petty tricks then. I'll be honest with you, okay? Yep, he's trying to mislead me again. So far, so good. Not so far, so good. He keeps trying to do it, apparently. But I literally activated what protects me from his curse. I want to see what happens if I just let him do it, because I have made myself immune by turning off the voices volume. There is someone I want to bring back, so I like your assistance in collecting soul dregs. I can't help you. Please, all you have to do is tell me who the other curse bearers are. Sorry, but as a police officer, I can't just look the other way and let you go. Please, if you help me, I'll let you two go as well. Is that a threat? No. It's your final warning. Like curse, the foot washing bitchin'. Do you really think you could escape it just by being careful? Yeah, it didn't matter to me which of you was the curse bearer. I'll be taking both of your soul dregs away. Wait, Namagaki? The foot washing bitchin' is a powerful curse, and so simple to activate. It's ready whenever I need it, so there's no escape from the voice of my feet. Arrow, get out of here. Hurry. I'll find you later. What? Okay. Too late. Hear the voice of my cursed echo. No. The voice of a cursed echo. What? Why isn't my cursed echo working? Impossible. This has never happened. What's happening? I don't hear anything. Arrow, now, grab him. Right. Namagaki, get down. God damn it. Boss, here, his curse stone. Good work. Give it to me. Acquire the foot washing mansion. There's definitely going to be a separate route where I just kill this guy and we go from there. Damn it, why? What do you think, boss? Should we lock him up? I haven't even touched you. You can't consider that assault of a police officer. Let him go. All we need is a stone. How could this happen? By right of resurrection. Give it up. The route was too good to be true from the start. I don't know what happened to you, but you'd be better off mourning whoever you lost right away. Now get out of here. Damn it. Phew. That was a close one, huh, boss? We'd probably be dead if he had activated his curse. Yeah. I'm not sure what, but something stopped his curse from... Boss, you okay? Does having another curse stone hurt? Yeah. The curse from this one is flowing into me, too. Oh, no. I saw what activates the curse of the foot washing mansion, and the resentful memory is bound to it. Ah, I see. I always thought this one was none of the stranger of the seven mysteries. I thought this one was one of the stranger of the seven mysteries. Now I know why. Sure, something. What did you see? Let's save that for later. All you need to know for now is that it's a particularly powerful curse. We're lucky we took it away from him. Yeah, it doesn't have any settings besides just it kills you. And the only way I've been getting around it is because of video game bullshit. Phew. A foul-smelling wind rattled the house. Suddenly, a giant foot drenched in blood smashed through the ceiling. Wash, it commanded. After the servants carefully washed the foot, it returned from whence it came, fixing the roof it had broken. A man who had been visited by the foot every night asked a friend to trade houses with him. That night, the foot stopped appearing.
The curse power kills by crushing one who hears the command wash. She was an accomplished damn it, I had this word yesterday. She was an accomplished Omiyoji. Omiyoji, there you go. Omiyoji. Alas, she did not use her talents for the good of the world, or the people, but for her own selfish pursuit of beauty. After a fierce battle, the woman dragged herself through the streets. It was like something had gnawed away at her body. Will I die? I've already obtained what I needed, as long as I have this. Suddenly, a terrible realization dawned on her. Her legs wouldn't move. She fell to the ground. What was happening? Surprised, she looked down. The foot, once so beautiful and delicate, had grown ulcerated and rotten. He got her. She was on the verge of death and covered in filth to boot. Crawling to a nearby house, her breath caught in her throat. The curious residents opened up, but recoiled from what they saw. My foot is so filthy. Someone, please, quickly. The woman expired while mumbling something unintelligible. And so ended the life of a woman consumed by evil. Well, that makes one stone. Where do we go now? We'll visit all the places associated with the mysteries while it's still dark out. You mean we have to do that all over again? I hope they aren't all as aggressive as him, but people do crazy things to bring back someone they love. It seems that he hated the cursed stones, seems that the hatred the cursed stones are imbued with make people more willing to kill. Really? And what about you, boss? I'm fine. I may not have any spirit sense, but I'm tough when it comes to this stuff. That's why they love me in the paranormal affairs. So you're spiritually gifted after all. Alright, let's head to the next place. Okay, I am going to actually end it here for tonight, because my voice is starting to really get hurty and scratchy. So I'm gonna end it here, not to just keep going and make it even worse for a while. Not exactly like the best ending point, but it does end an entire scene, so this is pretty solid. So right now we've got a couple other mysteries popping up. The murders 20 years ago, the murder of the cop now, the 7 mysteries that are activating. We also don't know who our particular person right now wants to bring back alive. We're not exactly sure who he's going to technically want to resurrect. Unless he doesn't have one yet, but maybe he will later. But yeah, I'm going to keep playing more. We'll eventually see more of her out, what we have about the detective finding out more things, and what goes on from here. And we even have an entire other route down here that I don't know what's going on. Also, I didn't kill the guy, which I technically could have done. We would have gotten his stone no matter what, but him being alive feels like it should be a branching path. Or maybe it's just stopping, like, either him being around for something else later, or our character not giving in to killing people for it. Either way, no idea. But we'll pick this up again next time. As for if this will be tomorrow, I'm not sure. Tomorrow is going to be raid night, so I probably won't be finished with that until like midnight or later. So if I do anything, maybe it's going to be cultic during the day, unless I stream this during the day. We'll see. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I'll be back again tomorrow at some point, and see you all next time. Just making sure.